We not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably would start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm
Okay, so you see this intro and you're instantly like, oh my God, what happened? The mom is distraught talking about staying strong and whatnot. And you're wondering what possibly could have gone so wrong that this kid they're talking about was expecting to finish high school, but is now being told he needs to start all over.
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
he didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed.
So what could this mean? I've never heard of a school failing. Did someone at the school make a mistake that prevented her son from graduating? What did the school do wrong?
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes.
Oh, so maybe that's why he needs to start over. I understand maybe the school isn't very good. He goes to the Institute of Visual Arts. Is that even a real school? That sounds like a film school or some shit. But that's no excuse to only pass 3 classes in 4 years. This video is 5 years old. I graduated 6 years ago, okay? So we went to high school at damn near the same time. There were classes in my high school where you could sleep through the entire period every single day and you'd still pass. Unless you're taking AP or honors classes, 90% of high school is easy as shit. And you have to remember too, this video is from 2021. That means he was in school during the pandemic when classes were online. He couldn't even pass when you were practically allowed to cheat on everything school related. Bro, you couldn't even pass PE? Personal fitness, you got a 50? And by some goddamn miracle, he got an 85B in health ed? Bro, how is that even possible? And for the record, a D isn't really passing in high school because you have to get a C average in order to graduate. So he really only passed 1 class in 4 years of high school, and he's complaining about not being able to graduate. But it's a school's fault though, right? It's not his fault, it's not his mom's fault, it's the school's fault, right?
But France says she didn't know that until February.
Yeah, that's a bullshit excuse, bro. We live in a world where parents can check their kids' grades whenever they want. All she had to do was look at her phone and she would have seen that her kid was failing. Also, don't schools still send out physical report cards to your house? That was always a moment of truth during my childhood. That paper in that envelope determined whether or not I got my Xbox for the weekend, bro. But it wasn't even just that. If my mom saw that I wasn't doing well in the class, she would be on my ass instantly, bro. She had my grade book as like a fucking startup application that would boot up as soon as she turned her computer on. She checked that shit on a regular.
She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I wonder if this was one of those situations where the teacher in the freshman class just didn't want to deal with that kid again, so they just moved him up for shits and giggles. We used to joke about that back when I was in school. There was a kid that I knew who I grew up with who just straight up didn't show up to school, probably like 1 in every 3 days. And we would always joke that the only reason he was able to advance was because the teachers just didn't want to put up with his shit anymore. That's probably what happened here. They just decided, hey, this kid's not going to show up anyway, so I'm tired of having to explain to the office why this kid's absent all the time. But just because you move up doesn't mean you pass the class. You still had to have known that you were failing, even though you were moving up to the next grade.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
Bro, he wasn't passing. If you're the mom, isn't there a voice in your head that's like, even though he's moving on in the next grade, isn't it a bad thing that he's getting straight F's on every report card? Do you not think for a minute that you should be more focused on your son getting his grades up rather than the classes the school has him taking. And the worst part too, and just kind of proof that this mom just doesn't give a fuck. If you look during this news interview, this kid's sitting on the bed playing 2K. So this guy's grades were so fucking bad that they did a news segment on him, and yet his mom is still letting him play the game. What? His mom is really still letting him play 2K. Hey, I bet he's the best player on 2K though. Bet he's passing that class with flying colors.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times.
Bro, how the fuck is that even possible? Isn't there a truancy law in this country where a parent can get arrested if their kid misses school too many times? Bro, like, is this school just like not reporting that to anybody? Bro, that's damn near, if you're talking 3 school years, because his 4th school year was online, keep that in mind. This is damn near a year and a half worth of tardies and absences, bro. In 3 years. So that means he was either late or didn't show up at all 50% of the time. And again, this is another thing that a parent can easily check on their school website. At least I would hope. I don't know what this school is doing, bro. This fucking fake high school, film school. I don't know what they're up to. But most schools, you can check online how many fucking absences you have too. Bro, if it came back that I cut class 1 time, when I was in high school, I never did it because I was scared shitless of what would happen to me if I did. I already know my mom would have been on my ass. I'd come home, first thing she'd say is, yo, why'd you cut class today? She'd know. She'd be on top of that shit, bro. There's no way that this mom didn't realize that her kid was missing 272 days of school, bro. That's insane. Man, some parents, man, they let their kids get away with too much, man. I guess that's how you fail 22 classes in high school, is you just don't show up. I guess that makes a little bit of sense now. It's also how you fail PE, because if you don't participate, you don't pass. And if you don't show up, you can't participate. So that makes a lot of sense too. 22 classes, but again, it's the school's fault.
No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Bro, they shouldn't have to tell her. How detached from reality do you have to be as a parent that you don't know that your kid missed 272 days of school and failed 22 out of 25 classes? Like, bro, at that point, you're not even trying.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13.
Bro, somehow that sounds worse than 22 failed classes. I didn't even know that was possible. Bro, you can't even average a point per game? You can't even get to the free throw line? Seeing this, bro, it's wild to me how if I didn't have a 4.0 or more in school, my parents were genuinely pissed. And I'd get in trouble. If I had a 0.13, I'd probably be completely disowned. Then you got kids like this where not only does nothing happen to them, they get sympathy for it and they're still allowed to play the game. How is this kid still allowed to play 2K, bro? I still haven't figured it out.
His class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13. or lower.
Yeah, bro. You know there's several kids dropping donuts at that school, bro. If 0.13 is average, you know there are kids who are averaging 0 points per game. And not only that, they're also averaging 0 minutes on the court. There are kids at that school who just never showed up at all. It's crazy to think that if you get a 1.0 GPA in that school, you're probably the valedictorian. Let that sink in.
Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help for him? I hate that this is happening to my child.
I mean, you can't get mentorship if you don't show up. I mean, to be fair. Now, I never missed that many days of school, mostly because I wasn't allowed to. But realistically, I think she's supposed to get arrested. I think that's how the truancy laws work, but obviously not.
And he feels embarrassed, like he feels like a failure. And I'm like, you can't feel like that. And you have to be strong. You gotta keep fighting. You know, life is about fighting. Things happen, but you gotta keep fighting.
Keep fighting? He never showed up. He never put the gloves on, man. The fact that any of them are upset at anyone else but themselves is a crazy level of delusion and ultimately just a lack of self-awareness. This is like a fat person being upset that they aren't losing weight when all they do is sit on their ass and eat ice cream. And also, he should feel like a failure. Most kids are able to get through high school in 4 years, and this guy didn't come anywhere close. Yeah, man, this mom is coddling this kid way too much, bro, and it's only hurting him. He probably knows he can get away with murder with her. He can miss school whenever he wants. He can show up late whenever he wants, and she won't do shit about it. This is an example of like the teacher-parent conference where, you know, the kid's not doing well, and instead of being mad at the kid, the parent blames the teacher instead, which is becoming increasingly common based on videos that I've seen online. And yeah, this is just like a crazy example of that. And I still can't get over the fact that the kid was playing video games during a news segment about him doing shitty in school. Yeah, I got a pretty good feeling I know what was going on while he was supposed to be in school. Well, this video is 5 years old, so hopefully this kid's doing better today. I'm not trying to beat up on anybody, but I saw this video, and even though it's presented as this serious topic on the news, I couldn't help but find it fucking hilarious. Which could be kind of fucked up, but at the end of the day, bro, if you're doing so bad in school they make a news segment about you, it's a little bit funny. Let's see what some of the comments have to say. He did all of it for nothing. He literally did nothing. Yeah, that's facts. I don't know what she was talking about. Failing so hard you end up on the news is just brutal. Yeah, that is brutal. She named everyone except herself. Yeah, I feel like that's the big one there. Because, I mean, she pointed the finger at the school. She said the school failed before her son failed. That's wild, bro. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. If you made it this far, you already know I appreciate the hell out of you. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you do what every other YouTuber tells you to do. Like and subscribe, comment what you want to see next, watch one of my other videos that are up here, and I will see all of you right back here next time. Deuces.